Good morning, everybody. It's so funny because when we go on to StreamYard to start a show, it says it's showtime in the upper right corner. And every single time I see that, all I can think of is Jim Carrey in The Mask. It's showtime. It's horrible. Anyway, we've got a great show for you this morning. My co-host Olivia Ambani is here today. I've got some continuing thoughts about Showtime. Yeah, no, halftime. And what else do we have going on today? We've got a lot to talk about, specifically about being authentic and singing your song. So don't miss it. We have an all new episode of Project Joy Live happening right now. Hello, my friends. Good morning to you. Happy Wednesday. It is February 12th, 2025. I'm your host, Jessica Dugas, and this is Project Joy Live. It's your triple shot of good vibes every Monday, Wednesday, Friday at this 9 a.m. Eastern Time hour. I'm tired this morning. I'm not going to lie to you. I was sharing with Olivia Ambani, who is going to be on here shortly with me before we came on the show. Today is day 219 of showing up for myself in the morning and doing some sort of movement, no matter it depends on what that looks like. But in the beginning of January, I wanted to kick things up a notch, and I started a 28-day challenge with Rick, who, if you look up on YouTube, Get Fit with Rick, he's really amazing. He's so high vibe and big energy, but also inclusive at the same time. When I watch his videos, I feel motivated and inspired, but not pressured. I don't feel like I need to do things at the exact energy level as him, or I'm not going to get any kind of results. I never feel that. And so, because of how I felt when I was watching his videos, I joined his challenge. And so, January, was and leading into February a little bit, was the Step and Sweat challenge, which was basically focused on walking, indoor walking, or you could do it outside, I guess, but I ain't going outside in this cold. And so walking, cardio, 20 minutes. And so I'm not at the point where I can do an extended period of time with my pain level what it is. So 20 minutes works out well for me. And so I got through Step and Sweat challenge, did the whole thing, and then we move into phase 2, because it's like a 12 phase program to do a whole year. So phase 2 is body combat, my friends, and which is sort of like kickboxing, and very like high interval training, sort of. I don't know if any of you have ever done that before, but my muscles are angry right now. Just angry. So I realized from day one that immediately following my workout, I needed to get in a hot shower and have my husband do my muscle cream on my lower back. Like I knew that this needed to be a ritual from the first day, because the first day I didn't know I was going to make it. It was really bad. But I'm doing it. And then something happened this morning. I did the workout, and I go check in with Teresa, who I have to give so much love to. Teresa Warren this morning. We have our virtual gym within the community that I've been checking into every day, and Teresa's always there. It's very rare that she's not. And so this morning in particular, when I was feeling so emotional when I got finished, I was so thankful that she was there and I could just have a second with her, to just have that support. The support is so important anytime we're making big big changes in our lives. And so so I checked in with Teresa. That was so nice. And so thank you again, Teresa. And then I go in the bathroom to get ready for my shower, and I just broke down. I broke down. I'm like ugly crying. My face was redder than it was when I was doing my workout. And my husband's like, like, are you okay? Are you having a meltdown? What's going on? And it was just, it was a lot. But it was such a big release that I needed this morning. I don't know why. And I don't always think we need to know why, but sometimes just that emotional release is so important. And as I was telling Olivia and my friends over in the Vibe Tribe this morning, sometimes we forget how much is tied into our health other than just the physical. With every pound that we have on our body, with every muscle, with all of our cells and everything, each and every one of those things holds memories, holds beliefs, holds trauma, sometimes holds all of these things, and we have to let it out. And so it was my own reminder that I needed this morning to just go scream into a freezer or something. I'll tell you about that later. And just let it out if it needs to come out, even if it's ugly crying, even whatever. Just let it happen. And so that's my joy this morning. My joy in the tears, which happens, this morning was much needed. I just needed that release. And so again, big thank you to Teresa for being there in the morning, when I need support the most. And then also to my Vibe Tribe members who were very sweet this morning when I was sharing my daily sweaty selfie. So thank you so much to everybody for all the support. What else do we have going on today? I want to go check in over on the comments. Miss Teresa's here. Speaking of Miss Teresa, Miss Nancy's here this morning. Good morning, Nancy. Good morning, Miss Brittany. Happy Wednesday to you. Thank you so much. I've definitely look better now than I did prior to my shower. I even told Teresa, I'm like, I know nobody can smell me through the screen, but I can't stand myself right now. So I'm going to get a hot shower. Thank you. Hugs back, my friend. So listen, we've got Olivia Ambani on the show this morning. I want to get her on here. As before we go to break, I want to engage with you in our joyversation this morning. Here we go. All right, guys. Today, the question is our joyversation. It's joy meets conversation. It's a way to get to know each other and have some fun together. Our question today is, what song or movie makes you smile no matter how you're feeling? What song or movie, or you could pick one of each. It's your choice. So during the break, this is the question you need to answer. What song or movie makes you smile no matter how you are feeling? That's the question. Can you pick just one? I don't know. I'm going to be struggling during the break. That's all I'm going to tell you. I'm going to be struggling over here myself. But come up with something. Go over to the comments. Let us know what your favorite is. And after the break, we'll be back with Olivia Ambani. Don't go anywhere.
Caldwell Williams, on April 4th, I was 90 years old, grandson of slaves. My parents were first generation free. A long time ago, I embraced the definition of love. Love is the experience of well-being. And a friend is one who mutually shares that experience of well-being with you, which opens up almost infinite creative possibilities.
We're told as children to go make friends, but what did that look like? And how has it changed over time? Friendship is one of life's greatest gifts, and sometimes one of its greatest challenges.
Someone who is there to support you, someone who is willing to go through the ups and downs of life with you.
Connection, but also the opportunity for learning and deeper connection.
If I don't talk to that person for 2 months, we pick up the phone like we've never stopped talking. To me, that is what a friend is.
Friend to me is someone I can share my joys, also the struggles I have.
Friend means somebody that you can talk to and that you can trust.
So a friend to me is actually someone really, really close, an inner circle person.
And I think it's an important discussion to pass on to other generations so they don't get caught being lonely at the end because they haven't thought about friends in different ways.
This is the Friendship Paradox, a raw and real exploration of connection. Through 26 voices across miles and time zones, we reflect on the friendships that shape us, challenge us, and teach us who we truly are.
I need your shoulder.
What does it mean to be a friend? How do we navigate connection in a world that's constantly changing? And what can we learn about friendship by looking within? This isn't just a film about friendship, it's a call to reflect on the relationships we built, the ones we've lost, and the sacred connection we have with ourselves. What does friendship mean to you?
Welcome back to Project Joy Live. I'm joined this morning by Olivia Ambani, everybody, who you just heard singing a moment ago.
Hi, guys.
I'm so excited to have you back on the show this year. I know that you stay busy, many of us do. And so I want to start with gratitude and thank you for gifting your time with us here twice a month. And not just with your gift of song, but you are well-versed in so many areas. And I always just enjoy having a conversation with you, no matter what it's about. We could be talking about anything.
Thank you so much.
I love it. I love it. All right. So the question before we left for break this morning, our Joy Versation, Olivia will be right back. What song or movie makes you smile no matter how you're feeling? And this is so fun because Nancy's first that she mentioned this morning is Cool Runnings. Cool Runnings. Welcome back, Olivia. Cool
Thank
Runnings,
you.
Nancy mentioned. And fun fact, guys, in less than 2 months, so March 28th, 29th, 30th, my girls, my husband, and I will all be in Hartford, Connecticut for 90s Con, and I get to meet the cast of Cool Running. So I'm very excited about that. All 4 guys from the movie who were on that Jamaican bobsled team. If you haven't seen that movie, guys, go back. But I'm so excited that I get to meet them. So thank you for bringing up that, Nancy, this morning. My mom's here this morning, you guys, by the way. Everybody say good morning to Linda this morning. Ask her why she calls me Belle. So just ask her that question. My mom said Walking on Sunshine. That song makes her smile no matter how she's feeling. I like that song. And then Nancy said a new one to her list is Wicked. I have you seen Wicked yet, Olivia?
Not yet. I haven't. Have you?
Yes, it was. We bought it on Amazon to watch for New Year's Eve, and so it was really, really good. It was really good. It was great. Love that. My mom's saying hi. Teresa's saying hi. And they're asking why. Why did you call me Belle? Brittany says Happy by Pharrell. That's a song that makes her smile. Okay, so what about you, Olivia? What's a song or movie that makes you smile no matter how you're feeling?
I was thinking about that, and actually it's all 2 in 1. So there's My Song Better Than Just Fine, but then with the movie there's The Sound of Music. And
yes,
yeah, and specifically 2 songs. What's it called? A Few of My Favorite Things always makes me smile, and Edelweiss.
Oh, I love that song.
Yeah.
I love that song. You know what part of that movie gets me, and believe it or not, is the Lonely Goat Herd song. When they do the puppet show with the little goats, and because I could be crying through the whole movie, and we get to the little puppet show, and I'm just cracking up every time.
I love that.
Yes, the yodel song. And we were just talking about this the other day because Gwen Stefani sampled that song for her song Wind It Up. And I was like, Gwen Stefani has to be like the GOAT in music, because it takes a really brave person, and this will tie into our conversation today, I feel like, to sample a yodeling song from The Sound of Music for music.
Right? It's
Yeah.
true. It's so true. But I feel like Gwen Stefani has always been like writing her own rules and like doing her own
Yes.
thing from out to when she did her own solo music. So yeah, I think that's very Gwen Stefani, to when she like brought the Harajuku girls to like our attention, and that like that
Yes.
culture. That was pretty cool. Yeah.
I love it. I love it. So that's all. I love how this is all tying together today, everybody. So my mom loves that movie too, for sure. It's Sound of Music. And my kids enjoy it as well. Definitely a good family movie. Okay, what would I say? I think this is so hard. Okay, obviously, and I've talked about this before, not just because she's here, but Better Than Just Fine. That the entire Superhuman album though, it's so funny. And I feel this way about Kevin Kiley, Rory Kelly, Nico Padden, Nicola Vasquez, Half Hearted, a lot of the amazing people that have been on the show, Joe Cross. Anytime I see y'all's music pop up, it like I'm driving along, I have my favorites on, I see it pop up, and I just feel so happy. Even if it's not necessarily a song that I want to listen to in the moment, I still just feel so much joy. I'm just like, oh, that's my friend, I know them. And it just makes me feel great. So I love that. And I think movies, any musical for me, I'm down. I love Guys and Dolls. I love Meet Me in St. Louis and Singing in the Rain, and all of the old musicals make me smile no matter what I'm going through. Okay, Teresa picked Give You Hell by the All American Rejects. I don't know if I'm sure I've heard it, but I don't know the title. So I'll have to go check that out. I'll have to go check that out. Okay, so good answers today, everybody. Great job answering our Joyversation. I'm so excited to have you here during this particular time, because I shared about some of the challenges that I've had with my own fitness journey, and the journey that I've been on, for the last 219 days. And you just finished a 30-day fitness challenge for yourself. Like, what did you promise to yourself at the start of it, and how do you feel now that it's over?
Yeah, so actually at the beginning I was inspired to do it. I think I was sitting on my bed early on this year, and I was like, I think I should do a move challenge. And I think I got like this intuition feeling. And I specifically wanted to call it a movement challenge, because I felt like with the word fitness, like we all have different relationships with it. And I think of fitness, I'm like, you got to do it this way, you got to do it that way. And so I decided to call it like the 30 move challenge. And my main goal was every day you have to move. If it's 1 minute, 5 minutes, 30 minutes, it doesn't matter, but just move every single day intentionally. And so I did skipping some days, running some days, yoga some days, swimming lots of days, walks, tried new things I'd not tried before. And it was so brilliant, because to me, the main commitment was to actually just do it. And then I did a bit of another challenge where I documented every single day, every single movement. So and that really kept me accountable, because I document, edit, and post. So it was quite like, it really kept me like accountable to my audience, to myself, and I could see the improvement. And afterwards, I was just like, wow, like even in the process, after the first few days, I could see the difference. I was more focused. I was drinking more water. I just could handle my emotions better. And I got addicted. Like, honestly, just the high you get after movement or during movement, being able to process things. So yeah, for me, I think it was one of the best commitments I've ever made when it comes to like my body and mindset and things. And yeah, I think I didn't know what to expect. I was just like, let me just take one day at a time, and it's been brilliant. Like, yeah, one of the best challenges. And I did it I never stopped, because I've done 30-day challenges before and I always stop like somewhere along, but I didn't stop. I was like very consistent. So yeah, I'm very proud of
I'm so proud of you too. And I really just love how our journeys with this have aligned so much, because when I started last year, I think it was July 8th was the day that we start. I wrote it in the calendar. I've gotten really good at writing little things in the calendar because we forget. We
True.
forget the effort we make sometimes. And so every day that helps me. That same feeling that you had of like you show up, you edit, you post, that like that routine, that has helped me so much to just put little notes like I've completed this or this is what I've done, because we forget. We get wrapped up with everyday life and we don't realize the effort that we're putting in or the progress that we're making. So that helps. But very similar to when you started, what I said in July was I am just going to show up no matter what that looks like. I'm going to go into my virtual gym and I'm going to go in there and go, okay, what do I need today? And I might pick a walking video, or I might just stretch, or I might just go sit back on the bed and stretch and lay back down, like whatever, like move some kind of way. And then you get to a point where I think right around the time I was like in the 190 range, and I was like, I gotta do something different. I need to go whatever that next step is. And that's when I joined the challenge. And I still have flexibility with it because I have two rest days a week. And so if I'm hurting today, or if I'm struggling today, I can go, okay, today I'm just going to focus on my steps. I'm not going to do the video or whatever. And so I like that flexibility that's there.
Absolutely. And I think that it's so important to be kind to yourself. Like I did a recap video that's on my YouTube channel, Instagram, everywhere. And I said one of the key things was being kind to myself, listening to my body. Like when I felt, there were days I'd be like, I'm going to do this. And then my body was like, we're not doing that. So, you change it up. And I think that's the thing right now, especially now where there's this like push your body, you got to be like a pro athlete and do everything. And I'm like, no, like the most important thing is movement. Like just move your body. I think because of all the pressures we're getting, we're more sedentary and it's leading to lots of lifestyle diseases. So the most important thing is to move and to listen to your body. And everyone has different capabilities, and it's not even tied to age. It's just tied to like maybe where you are in life. So just move your body, honestly. And if your body says all I can do is, and everyone is different abled. So if all you can do is lift your hands or, move your neck, whatever that looks like to you, just try and do something in your capability. And I think that will go a long way.
Yeah, I agree. I want to ask you before we move on to our next topic today, how do you, I'm trying to figure out the best way to word this. How do you feel like there's a line between like listening to what your body needs? Because sometimes our bodies can deceive us. Sometimes our bodies can be like, girl, go back to bed, like go to sleep, but like listening to what your body needs, but also know that you need to have a little discipline or you need to push yourself a little bit today. How do you know the difference between those things? And maybe what do you do in those situations?
So what I normally do for me, and it's really good question, is I have like thresholds, right? So when I'm saying that I'll be like, if I feel like I'm super sore, then it has to be a stretch or a walk. Like it's either one. So I have like, I guess, catalogs of things I go to based on how my body is feeling. And that means that I still get something done. And if I'm just feeling like normally, I think also I ask myself the question, is it a body thing or a mind thing? If it's a mind thing, then I can like push myself to go a bit more. And so what I start to do is I negotiate with myself. I'm like, okay, let's just start with this really small thing. So I'll do like maybe a cardio-based movement. So maybe we'll just do this like 10 skips, but really I know I'm going to do 100. So let's do 10 skips. And if it's a mind thing, once I've started, like momentum is my friend, right? So once I'm in motion, then I can convince myself to do more. If it's a mind thing, if it's a body thing, then that one I tend to know, okay, I can gauge, this is my limit. So we'll start easy. And again, sometimes with body things, you just need to warm up and then you can, or maybe just reduce the pacing of what you're doing. So I think I tend to ask myself, is it a mind thing, a body thing? And then from there, I evaluate. I start. The most important thing is I start. Okay, guys? The key is starting. this is it. Like, you have to start. And I say,
Yeah.
I showed up, and I try and make like a minimum of, 5 minutes to 1 minute, but 5 minutes is what I say is the minimum.
Right.
But everyone's different. But I remember hearing this very powerful phrase from Cynthia Erivo, because she runs a lot, and she said, a 1 minute run is a run, a 5 minute run is a run, a 10-minute run is a run. And it was because most times we think, unless it's like 10K or like really long, we don't count it. So even movement is the same. And so if you start actually reducing the threshold of what counts as a good enough movement, you will start. But if you set the threshold too high, you will not start. So set it low so you can start, so you can then build from that. Yeah.
I love that so much, because I think where I was at this morning when I woke up initially, I was so tired. And I checked in with myself, and I'm like, am I just not motivated today? Is it a physical thing? Like, some of what you're saying is so important to check in with yourself and ask. But even that sometimes can be deceiving, because it is so simple to go, yep, I'm tired, back to bed I go, but what I decided to do, and this is part of what's kept me going these last almost 220 days here, is showing up anyway. When you show up, that's the first step, and then trying. So this morning I told Teresa before we went on, I said, I'm going to start the video. This is my plan. I'm going to start the video. And if I start to go into the video and I feel like physically I just can't do this, my plan is going to be to go lay down for a little bit, come on and do the show, and then do the workout afterwards. But as I got rolling, I realized that it was just Jessica playing games with herself, and I just kept going. Even though it was hard, even though I really didn't want to do it, I did it anyway. And so I think that it's this journey has been challenging for me, accountability wise, in realizing, because the idea of having like accountability partner is so fun and so cute, right? Like, oh, my friends are going to come and we're going to check in together. But not everybody has that same discipline that I have. So it's been so hard for me to be like, okay, I need to just be there for myself, no matter who shows up. No. And it's tough for me. It's hard, because it's a feeling of aloneness, but at the same time, it's like, I'm doing it.
It's true. And I think that's why it's important to find ways to hold yourself accountable, even if you're just on your own. So one of the things is I have a fitness diary on my WhatsApp with myself. And so I like write down every day I move, like what I did. And now it's become a thing where I look back and I'm like, oh, I did this. So I'm keeping myself accountable, even if I'm not doing videos, because I did it since last year. I think last year is when I started doing that, and it really helped me. And I actually learned it by like a video I saw, and I think Eliud, what's his name? Our runner. I'm forgetting his last name, but Eliud, the marathon runner from Kenya, and Kipchoge, right? So he actually keeps notes of every single workout he's ever done, like in a notebook. And many athletes do that. And I was like, that makes so much sense, because you can measure your progress, you can reflect. And so exactly what you said, like, we forget what we have done. So I think even keeping a journal, could be a physical one, could be on your phone, helps you really keep track of like your growth, and helps you stay accountable, because it feels great to write, this is what I did today. So that's another way to stay accountable, even if the people in your circles who are supposed to be helping you stay accountable are not as consistent as you.
Right. Great advice. Look we've given you so much already this morning. We're going to take a super quick break. When we come back, we're going to get into our topic today, Sing Your Song, a little bit about authenticity, being yourself. And I also want to talk to you just for a brief minute when we get back about a couple of these Super Bowl commercials. We'll be right back after this. Don't go anywhere.
Breakthroughs are about more than you might think. They're about discovering who you are, digging deep, reaching to the core of your soul. They're about healing yourself, understanding your beliefs, creating a ripple effect. And it's not just those initial moments that matter. It's about using them to bring more joy into our own lives and the lives of others. It's about having fun, letting loose, enjoying every moment life has to offer. It's about finding a safe space. It's about creating connection. Join us each and every day for exclusive programming, special events, and a community to call home, where we invite you to explore, change the way you look at and live your life, and go beyond the breakthrough. So we ask you, are you ready? We'll see you online at thebreakthroughshow.com.
Welcome back to Project Joy Live. Today is Wednesday, February 12th, 2025, and we're here this morning with Olivia Ambani. Always good to have Olivia here from Kenya. What is the temperature in Kenya today?
Oh, it's really hot. So I'm not sure exactly what the temperature is, but I think it's getting to 30 degrees.
Wow.
Yeah. So
we got another 2 inches of snow last night here in southeastern Connecticut. But I will say this, it has been a very mild year for us here in southeastern Connecticut. We finally got our first big snow over the weekend. We got about 7 inches of snow over the weekend. And then we had a couple days off, and then another about 1.5, 2 inches last night. And so my youngest got to go sledding for the first time. And so, it's been fun. But I know there's a lot of people anxious. Danielle, if you're watching, I'm sorry you're cold. There's people anxious that it's ending. So anyway, okay. Do you guys watch the Super Bowl and all of that there in Kenya? Does it even matter like it matters to people here?
I think more for the entertainment. So they watch the halftime show. That's
right.
And that's mainly like for the entertainment. I mean, there are some people who are into like the American football, but I feel like I guess what you guys call soccer is way bigger here. Premier League, UEFA, that is bigger. But some people do watch some American sports. Yeah. But it's the halftime show. That's what people watch.
Yeah. So I said my piece about the halftime show on Monday. Look, my husband is a big Kendrick Lamar fan, and so way more than that. He is more versed in Kendrick music than I am. And so I feel okay, especially after Farhan and I had a great discussion about the halftime show last night before Beyond 2D. But I like his music. I like him. I respect what he does. Was it my favorite halftime show? No, but that doesn't mean that it wasn't good in its own way. Like it just, I have other ones that are my favorite. And I think that's okay to say at this point. It's okay to have favorite, performers and things like that. But I did want to take a second and touch on the couple of the commercials, because I feel like the people that are producing some of these are on some really good drugs that I am not accustomed to, because what in the world is happening? Okay, so first of all, did you see the commercial with Seal?
With Seal, did I? I saw the Nike one. Is that
okay? So Seal, the singer Seal,
no,
people apparently took this real literal. You guys, this was for Mountain Dew. Seal as an actual seal.
No.
I don't understand. Guys, what are you on? Please step away.
No. That I didn't see, and no, I would not have even said yes to that as Seal. But what the hell?
Listen, that's what Farhan was like last night. We were talking about it before Beyond 2D, and he goes, he must have needed some money or something.
Right? I would not have said yes to that. See, like I don't even see the connection with Dew. Like, Okay,
It was ridiculous. It didn't make any kind of sense. Okay. And then I had all new fear unlocked that I didn't even realize I had as a fear because it shouldn't even exist. There's a Pringles commercial. Did you see the Pringles commercial? Pringles commercial. They were cutting to all these different men. I'm going to show you a screenshot in a minute. Cutting to all these different men that had mustaches, including Mr. Potato Head. You guys know Mr. Potato Head with the toy mustache. You can pop it on and off. Okay. So they're cutting to all these men, including Mr. Potato Head with the mustache. And one by one, their mustaches started coming off and flying away. Okay. And then the mustaches went and snatched people's cans of Pringles out of their hands, and they're flying away with the Pringles.
What the heavens is that?
Okay, they're flying away with the Pringles, and then the Pringles drop, and all of the mustaches smack into a window like birds smack into windows. So now I have a new fear of flying mustaches I didn't even know I had. Don't come at me with that. I don't like it. I'm very uncomfortable.
They're definitely on something. What is that? That sound there was smoking.
I listen, as we go into this conversation about being authentic and singing your own song and being yourself, these are the moments where I question that. And I'm like, should we know?
I don't know about those. I don't know. Those ones I don't know. What was the point of that? What was, maybe there's a symbolism we missed with the mustaches and stuff. Well, okay, I don't know if it's tied to, okay, maybe that's too political for me, but not political for me, but I feel like the only connection I can think of is like very dark and how they're trying to take away the joy. And then like they get it, you know, Pringles breaks free, and then that's the only thing. I don't even want to mention the darkness I went, but I think you get where I'm going.
Yeah, I can't do it. I can't. It was too much. Too much. I will say there was a commercial that I enjoyed, which, by the way, they're getting backlash for it, but you can't do anything. You can't even take a deep breath these days without getting backlash for it. So we're just going to leave it at that. But I enjoyed this commercial with Snoop Dogg and Tom Brady. And it was about things that hating for no reason, hating for ridiculousness. And the whole commercial goes through, and it was like, you know, I hate you because you're of your race. I hate you because of what you believe. I hate you because of this. And then at the end, and there that shot there, he's like, man, I hate that things are so bad that we have to make a commercial about this. And Tom Brady says, me too, and they walk off. I loved that.
That's powerful.
I loved it. I loved it.
That's powerful. Wow. Yeah, that's quite something. So why, anyway, I shouldn't even ask why are people hating, because that's why they made the commercial. So it's like they just went and did what the commercial was trying to.
Yeah. You know, it's interesting for me. Even with the halftime show and everything else, there's been so much symbolism for different things, and I respect that and I appreciate it, and I think at the same time I also stick to what I said on Monday's show, which is that I feel like things like the Super Bowl, with so many generations watching, you know, from different ages, different cultures, everything else, that it really is an opportunity to bring people together. And I think that there were moments that did that for me during this Super Bowl. But I feel like there was a lot of missed opportunity as well to reach across the aisle, to shake a hand, to bring people together. And so that's one of the reasons I wanted to show that particular commercial, because I felt like that was one of the things that was done right. And so I think that was good. Is there any like big commentary with it coming out of where you live? What are people saying there?
I think we really connected with Kendrick's performance, because I think it was just saying like, we're tired of being peaceful and hiding the different cultures. And as much as we may not know all the like history behind like what African Americans and Black Americans went through, we can relate, because for us now in our government, let's say Kenya right now, there's so much like the the parallels between our governments is a bit scary in terms
Mm.
of lack of care and so many things that are happening. And so, like, yeah, I think for me, one of the best parts was when Serena Williams did like the Crip Walk. I love that because I knew all the flack she got doing it at Wimbledon, and just the freedom. I think I loved the freedom of expression that she was able to have, and how happy she was doing it in such a space. So I think for a lot of people, like, we really like it. And it's also been a way for us to learn different history. Some people are more aware of it than others. Yeah, and then also quite a big one is also like people are really like, oh, that Kendrick and Drake beef, and just some just like, yeah, this battle goes on. But I think overall, most people, I mean, not most, but for the people I've seen, like, the highlight for them was actually Serena being part of it. They really that. But yeah, everyone has different views on it. I can't say that I can speak for majority, because yeah, I think for me as a woman, a Black woman, I really loved seeing her there, just doing her thing, having her joy. But yeah, there was a lot of symbolism. There was some parts I was like, whoa, he was brave. Like, there was some parts I was like, yo, he went there, but it's Kendrick. So again, like, I'm not surprised.
Yeah, I'm not sure what people expected from him, especially with, but I think a lot of people that maybe couldn't find anything good about it. I think they just maybe are not familiar with his lyrics or his history or anything like that. And he's always speaking out about things. I know that some of what Farhan and I talked about last night, he wasn't feeling the beef part. He was just like, why do we always have to picture each other in a fight, in a argument? And he didn't like that part. And so I've heard that argument as well. And I am over here falling somewhere in the middle. I'm like, it was okay. I respected it, but I loved when Prince came out in Purple Rain, like, it was one of those things for me. But like I said, I thought it was okay. I respected it. And I think it's important for us, anytime we see things like this that come across as controversial, to say to ourselves, okay, like, maybe what am I not seeing here? What am I, not, can I find something to appreciate other than grumbling on social media, people? Can we just stop that?
Yeah, it's true. It's true. And I think as people in general, we always have a conversation. Some things will connect more to other people than not. And that's just the way it is. And as artists, some will speak out more on certain issues than others. And it's like humans, and that's just how it is. And so I think, yeah. And again, as you said, if you know Kendrick and his history and what he stands for, like, literally, and in the time we are in, did you really think that I don't know, I wouldn't have expected a different halftime show from him, honestly. Like, this makes sense. Like, even said in the beginning, like,
here we go,
guys.
Well, he definitely did his own thing, and that's a little bit what we wanted to talk about this morning. End of last year, Robert Lukian, who's been on the show, was on The Voice Romania, and one of the things, I've seen little clips and stuff from other voice competitions from different countries, but I've never really sat and watched like I did when Robert was on, because when you have a player in the game, you got to watch the whole thing. And so I noticed so much, though, that was so different from The Voice America, where people, like, the fashion was wild, like things that I would never see people wear here unless they're on like a runway. And then the other thing was that I noticed they were all singing really big songs, like from big artists, from powerhouse vocalists. And yes, they made them their own, but what I've seen so much here, when people go to sing something, that's like maybe a Whitney song or a Mariah song or something from a bigger vocalist, they're like, don't even try, sit down, like, that's too big, don't do it. But nobody was saying that for The Voice Romania, and that really stuck out to me as like, this game of comparison that we play, like, that we can't do it exactly like them, so why even bother? Like, how do you, I feel like even where you are in Kenya, that you guys are even more brave than we see it as brave, but maybe it's like, not, maybe that's not something that concerns you. So what's your take on this?
I think, firstly, like as someone who's actually auditioned for shows like that, it's nerve-wracking to
Mm,
get on as far as, Robert did. But I think, my take on it and what I've learned as an artist is you've got to choose how you want to show up. And, kind of reverting back to like that Nike advert, I was like, they're gonna say stuff anyways, so you might as
mm,
well just do what you want. Like, I think when you think of life, people will always, and sadly, the people who complain the most they're not even in the arena. They're not even trying.
mm.
They're, so, and it doesn't mean the opinion isn't valid. You can have your opinion whether you choose to pursue your dreams or not. But at the end of the day, like, let people show up how they want to show up, express how they want to. And then if we're to look deeper on songs people choose, and for me specifically, as a Kenyan artist who is an African woman, I feel like there's a lot of policing in different ways. So you'll get people saying, why don't you sing in this language? Or why don't you maybe perform more like this, or sound more like that, or less like this? Like, people are always policed all the time. And what I realized was just create from a space that you understand in whatever season you're in, because that's the easiest. Honestly, it is way easier to create and perform from there. And the people who are probably putting you down, it tends to come from an insecurity that they can't even show up as themselves. So they want everyone else to not show up as themselves, because then we're all in this miserable space
Yeah.
of not showing up as ourselves. So, so I think, like, I love the fact that they were able to do that and to show up. And like, that's part of creativity and culture, is evolution, and being able to mix and just see different things and try different things. That's how we grow. That's how we become better. So I'm like, by all means, do it, try it. And
Yeah.
those people want to bring you down and say, well, it's not as good as, well, no one is trying to even be that. I don't think so. Like, you're inspired by those people, but
Right.
we cannot be Whitney, we cannot be Mariah, we cannot be Celine Dion, we can't be Seal. Like, we can't be those people. We can just be ourselves.
I can think of it. I don't want to be Seal at this point.
We can just be us. Inspired, right? Like, you can be
Yeah.
inspired. And when you think of life and stuff, we're always being inspired, whether knowingly or unknowingly, by so many different things and people. So I think that's my take on that. Like,
Yeah.
how do you feel about it?
Well, I remember an interview with Whitney Houston. I think it was the late 80s. And someone asked her about how much pushback she got at the beginning of her career for being too pop, for sounding too white. It's specifically what she was saying. And she was like, how does white sound exactly? Like, why can't I just sing whatever I find inspiration in the moment? So that interview in particular reminds me that even the biggest names, even the most talented people, that they get the same crap of what they should and shouldn't be doing. And so I love what you're saying of, like, I think you said to create from where you're at. And I love that, because we're supposed to grow and evolve and change, and as we go on our journey, we pick up different influences and different sounds. And a lot of people crap on when new songs sample old songs. Why can't they just come up with something themselves? But if they're inspired to create something new with it, then that's what life is supposed to be about, I think.
Yeah, it is. And I think this thing of holding so fast to, oh, this is a classic, or this is I don't know, like, not allowing ourselves to evolve in any way, I think just doesn't work. Like, our bodies evolve, our minds evolve. Like, the nature of life is that it just evolves. So why are we even fighting against change? So allow it, and you might be surprised at the beautiful things that come out of that. So
Right.
I think it also comes from a place of fear, where people feel like, if this evolves, this dies. That's not always the case. I think sometimes things evolve to survive, and things evolve to then thrive. So allow it. Like, you might expose that art or that culture to more people who really honor it, to even your own people in a new generation. So I think by all means, I think we just need to be kinder to people who are creating as well and expressing themselves. They were brave enough to do it. So just imagine, let them have the stage and express in a way that makes sense to them. So long as it's not hurting anyone, like physically, like, and abusive, then please, like, let's allow expression. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, that's why it sort of bothered me the really harsh standpoints of people judging the halftime show, because I think it's valid to say it wasn't my favorite, but to come out and say like the whole thing was horrible, like we can't find anything good about it. I think when we do that, we are creating a space where other artists don't feel safe to be themselves. They don't
True.
feel like because they feel like as soon as I do anything, people are going to come for me. Like, and I think there's this sort of balance between realizing that's going to happen, but also doing it anyway, and just put it. There's always going to be somebody. You're not going to be
There,
everybody's cup of tea.
there is. And at the end of the day, you have this life, and you either choose to show up and create as best as you can as yourself or not. And sadly, if you choose not to, no one else will ever do that, because you are given unique tools, influences, cultures that only you can create from. No one else can create like you. So don't rob yourself and the world from being able to see your form of expression. I think that's really important, because people always try to silence you. They will. Most of the times you just don't understand, or they don't even have the courage to express themselves. So they're like, you know what, you keep silent, like, don't
Right.
cross you. And I think it's unfair, but I think the biggest revolution is you choosing to be yourself. So
Right.
just be yourself and express as best as you can. Yeah.
I agree. I agree. I think we have a lot of people right now that are committed to misunderstanding. And so we can if we just shift that and go, okay, I don't really get that art. Maybe I should talk to the artist. Maybe I should talk to people who have studied the artist or respected the artist, and maybe have a conversation and educate myself. That might be a good place to
Right.
start.
Right.
That's it.
It's
Don't be
true.
committed to misunderstanding. That's what I'm saying to
Yeah.
it.
And right, misunderstanding and always being offended. I think like now there's such a big one of like, I'm this, that. And at times I've been there. I'm not perfect on
Mm,
that. I'll be like, and then you step back and you're like, okay, but let me put myself in that person's shoes. How are they perceiving this? Why are they perceiving this? Like, even if you look at the different political divides and stuff, I feel bad for some people now, because I'm like, you're just being used, and then knowing exactly what to tell you so that you dislike this
right.
person. That's what they're doing, and they don't care about you. You're just collateral. You're just being used as ammunition. And so at the end of the day, most of the times we upset at a lot of internal stuff, and then someone comes and just the ingredients are perfect, and then we feel like, you did this to me. But did
Right.
they? Sometimes they have, absolutely. But then at the end of the day, like, don't allow someone else to use you in their crazy battle. Just don't. Guys,
Don't do it.
we are so much better together. We just
That's
don't.
that's it. We can't come together unless we choose to engage in these sometimes really challenging, hard conversations. And to be able, even at the end of Beyond 2D last night, which if you guys didn't check it out, go check out the replay of Farhan and I. We had season 3 premiere of Beyond 2D last night, and for the first 4 episodes, we're talking about love, which is a really layered, nuanced, emotionally charged topic. And at the end of the episode, I asked a question, and we butted heads for a brief moment, but we both clicked the end of the show and we're like, man, that was a good episode, like that was really great. And so you don't have to walk away from things with always having to be right, my friends.
Yeah,
That's
it's
I'll
true.
leave it
And
that.
like we don't see the world the same way. It's just the way it is. Like, I live in my world, you live in your world, and then we come and we hope we can understand. And even if we don't, we can respectfully be like, I imagine I just don't see your point of view, but I don't have to hate you. I don't have to abuse you. I can just be like, this was my experience, that was your experience, and
Yes.
maybe don't align. And it's okay. Like, it doesn't have to cause uh a lot of heartache and pain,
Right.
which is what is happening. Like, I feel there's too much, like, you're either here or you're there. Like, that's just not even how the world works.
Mm.
And so I think if we're more open, as you're saying, to a conversation, to seeing that people's upbringing and lives and experiences, they're different. Some are very painful, some are a mix of both. So yeah, let's try and actually be open to the fact that if we want to be understood, we should be open to understanding other people too. Yeah.
Yes, 100%. Don't forget, everybody, that part of half of communication is listening, not just talking. And so I think that that's really important to remember in this. We have to get to birthdays, my friend. You ready?
Yes.
Here we go. Let's do it.
Happy birthday to you.
So I'm doing the friends' birthdays today. Amanda Trant has a birthday today. Happy birthday. And one of the people that I've seen since I've come back to Connecticut. So happy birthday to you, Amanda. Happy birthday to Mona Lashbrook. Good to see your name pop up this morning, Mona. Also, I suppose I'll mention a couple other so today was President Lincoln's birthday, who passed away in 1865. So happy birthday, President Lincoln. And rapper Gucci Mane. 45 years old today, 1 year older than me, Gucci. So, but listen, speaking of Gucci, which has nothing to do with him, my husband, so I had gotten this perfume sampler or whatever a couple years ago, and there was a little tiny Gucci perfume in there that smelled so good, so good. It's like a grown woman perfume. It's not the like, spray me and smell like a baked good or a bar of chocolate or something. This is like grown woman perfume. My husband got me grown woman Gucci perfume for my birthday. So I just have to give a little shout out to my husband really quickly.
But I love that.
But I put it on and I feel so grown. All my other ones, like I think back to, growing up in Bath and Body Works, and we had like cucumber melon and like, all of these very remind me just of teenage years, and I continued that theme until now. I am 44 and a grown woman. Just
it gets to a point where like, ooh.
That's it. You just got to grow up, guys. You level up your perfume game.
We just have to.
But it's Gucci Guilty. It's the gold bottle. It is literally, it's a grown woman perfume, everybody. Okay. All right, let's get our birthday song on. Here we go. Happy birthday to you.
Happy birthday to you.
Happy birthday, dear Abraham Lincoln, Gucci Mane, Mona Lashbrook, and Amanda Tran. Happy birthday
to
you. Yes. Happy birthday to all those that are celebrating and will celebrate throughout the rest of the week. Very excited because tonight we have a poetry reading, our first poetry reading with Kat Stomka at 5:30 p.m. Eastern Time. Just head over to thebreakthroughshownetwork.com and you'll find our virtual community. It's taking place in the outdoor stage. It's not really outdoor, but it looks like it. So when you go in there, you can come bring a poem to read or just listen to poems or just sit and zone out in the beautiful vibes. I invite you to come join us 5:30 p.m. tonight. And I will be back on Friday with an all new episode of Project Joy Live with a new segment about grata reps. Learn what grata reps are from Sharon Zaraga Walters. And it's Valentine's Day Friday, everybody. So it's going to be a whole love fest. Very excited about that. Anything you have going on, Olivia, that you want to share or celebrate this week?
Honestly, for me, I'm just grateful for this show. I was having a really hard day and I was like, I'm going for joy. So
yes,
get all the joy I can get on the show. So yes, that's what I'm grateful for this show and for what you're doing, Jessica. So thank you.
Thank you so much. And like I said, no matter what we talk about, I always have so much fun talking with you because you're so open and willing to have any conversation and to, not afraid to hear other opinions and not afraid to give yours. And I really appreciate that about you. And I'm hoping and for continued good movement with you now that you finished your 30 days, just keep going. Keep
Thank
going.
you.
It'll be great. And thank you for being the inspirational person you are. I appreciate you.
Thank you too. Thank you so much. I appreciate you too.
Thank you. Thank you. All right, guys, this is the end of Project Joy Live. I'll be back with you on Friday. I love you so much today. I'm your host, Jessica Dugas, and I want to remind you that you are the joy. And if you watched Beyond 2D last night, you are love too. So don't miss that. Go check out that replay, and I'll see you guys on Friday. Thanks, Olivia. Bye, everybody.
Bye.